Hello, my name is Amber Lukehart, and I am one of 4 people in my amazing team. We are known as Baker's Finest. For our proposal, we have chosen the topic Exploring the Real Causes of Addiction. Through this project, we are going to educate others about what addiction is, what it is not, and myths we have all been led to believe by society. In this proposal, you will learn about the inspiration for our proposal, what goals we have, and how we plan to execute them. We will discuss the steps we will take to achieve our goals and how to measure these achievements. You will learn about our plan for obstacles and mitigation and what our timeline will look like. Our personal contributions will be explained in detail, and finally, our drafted plan for the final project will be shared. On slide number 3, we have added a video that has heightened our inspiration for this project, and we hope that you enjoy it as much as we did.
Hi, I am Denny Fryer and I am also a member of Baker's Finest. Today I will be presenting the goal and execution. The goal of this project is to gain an understanding of the possibility that the historical theories regarding addiction may be misguided and perpetuating more addictive behavior. Let's take a look at what it's going to take to execute this goal. We will make a YouTube video to explain the following: identify what causes addiction, explore alternative theories of addiction, and we will formulate a better approach to help addicts recover. The steps we will take to do this are: we are going to create a PowerPoint that will become a YouTube presentation. We will brainstorm ideas for the project and discuss what important factors need to be represented in the presentation. We will also create a task list to give equal parts of the project to each person. We will set deadlines for each part. We will also set check-ins for the group to discuss the project and any problems that may have come up. We will also make sure each person is able to upload audio or video to the presentation where it is necessary. And finally, we will review the final project, make any last-minute changes, and agree as a group that we are ready to submit the assignment. Now let's take a look at what it's going to take to measure this project's achievements. We will assemble a task list for project kickoff with team sign-off and agreement. An equal number of slides will be given to each team member, so no other team member will have more to do than the other. The average length of the speaking parts to be roughly the same amount of time, so nobody is outshining anyone else. We will complete the tasks by the due date. And finally, the finished product will be posted and submitted for each team member.
Hi there, Caitlin Crosby here, and I will first be talking about some of the potential obstacles our group faces. And first off, most of us are not comfortable with the technology, be it Google Slides or the audio recordings and video recordings or making a YouTube presentation like we're going to attempt. So this is something new to us. We have the obstacle of online communication, and we're hoping to get through that by using the Canvas conferences more. And we have another obstacle of getting the work done. We're very busy and our lives are hectic, so finding time for homework can be difficult. We will overcome these obstacles by setting clear tasks with concise due dates and having a shared document folder for all of our documents so that we can all check in on each other, and by encouraging each other to continue to work hard and stay motivated. The next slide is our timeline. Week 3 through 6 on the timeline in this slide, but we're through with week 3 and we have done a lot of the work for week 4. So we will all be completing our individual parts of our presentation this coming week in week 4. In the next week, we will be recording our visual and audio and submitting the slides. And then in week 6, we will submit the final presentation. So what is addiction? Addiction is a complex brain disease manifested by compulsive substance use despite its negative consequences. Parka 2017. I have personally struggled with addiction. I'm so passionate about our project, and we really hope that we can educate people about what addiction is. And I would like to share my story in our presentation as well. So I'm not going to get into that right now, but that's what I would like to do.
Hi everyone, this is Molly. I will be discussing how addiction is treated by discussing the underlying causes of addiction and concluding that the opposite of addiction is not sobriety, it's actually connection. The first step on the road to recovery is recognition of the problem and understanding the causes of someone's addiction. It's not about the pleasurable effects of substances, it's about the user's inability to connect in healthy ways with other human beings. In other words, addiction is not a substance disorder, it's a social disorder. Human beings have a natural need to connect and bond and trust one another. When those natural needs are not met, we don't function the way that we're meant to. We tend to break and fall apart, become numb, hurt others, and hurt ourselves. It's really common today that we pride ourselves on being independent, and the truth is that social connection is one of our fundamental human needs, and that we need to be able to trust and to emotionally attach to other human beings. Without this attachment, we tend to struggle with healthy connections in many facets in our lives. When we're securely attached or connected, we tend to feel comfortable in life and fit into society, whereas insecurely attached people will tend to struggle and struggle to fit into society, and they'll look for attachment in other ways. Healthy human beings bond and connect with one another, but if we can't because we're traumatized or beaten down by life, we will ultimately connect with other things to get some sort of relief and connection. And this could be drugs and alcohol, gambling, sex, etc. Social bonding and connection can protect against addiction. The presence of strong social bonds in adulthood can decrease the vulnerability of these addictions. By connecting with addicts, social connectedness generates a positive feedback loop of social, emotional, and physical well-being. The decline in social connectedness explains many of the increases in isolation and alienation, and represents one of the leading reasons that people seek these destructive, addictive habits. So we need to deepen the connection with the addicts in our lives and love them and let them know that they're not alone and that they don't need to isolate themselves. Recovery and social connection is possible, and even for the most problematic of addicts. We treat them by punishing them and shaming them, giving them criminal records, and locking them away from the rest of society, but problems will just continue to get worse if we continue to do that. So our goal is to help addicts to rediscover their purpose, and by doing this, it'll allow them to rediscover bonds and connect with society once again, and to ultimately stop isolating themselves and help one another, like as a whole, as a society. So we need to support, value, and love them, and identify how important basic human connections are to our well-being and to others. Once we recognize this, we can consciously work towards making these connections with others, especially those with these addictions.